Welcome to another talk. Hello there. And been a good, maybe about a week before I've done another talk. I've been busy recording songs. I mean, I'm trying to get through a number of like karaoke songs, excuse me, until Christmas, because I've got like a Christmas like set that I've worked out, because it was quite recent over the last month or two. You know, went on this journey. I found out all about these karaoke backing tracks. Some of them are really good. And so I've been doing that, and also mixing that in with my talks, and also my own songs are right as well. But this talk, is called The Narcissist and the Silent Treatment. Now, the silent treatment, well, silence in general is a good way, to meditate. But with narcissists, it's, the silent treatment is a different thing. The reason they're silent with you is because they want you to mold into their way. So it's a way of punishment so that you submit and, mold into their way. It's a bit like, I can't say too much about anything political, so I'm not going to say too much, but if you look at the system and the way that it behaves, it seems like that's the way everyone else behaves. It's like the parents are jacked up on narcissism, and so the kids are like that. And that's the way society is. Osho once said that society has turned everybody retarded. And that's the way that it is. And that's why we've got a narcissistic society. All society is narcissistic. So in essence, we're all narcissists, you see. But a lot of people can't face that. If you're aware of it, then you're going to be less narcissistic, because you're aware of it, so you're able to heal it. But so it's very important that I make that clear, that we're all that, essentially. The fact that a person is aware of someone else being narcissistic, that's their shadow, what Carl Jung called the shadow. But back to the talk. A little bit of a diversion there, but not too much. It's related to what I'm talking about. The silent treatment that narcissists play on you is, like I say, it's because you're not doing what they want. So it's basically an adult tantrum. An adult tantrum because you're not obeying, you're not conforming to their way. Like I mentioned, the system, it's like just now, taking services away because you're not molding to what they want. Very similar, isn't it? Like I said, narcissistic society, right? It's not just one or two people, it's the society. But yes, the narcissist will do this. Now, this can be a parental situation, it can be romantic as well, and they just won't talk to you. And the way that this will make you feel won't be good. And then usually what will happen is the person that's being narcissistically abused will obey and will start apologizing and behaving like this. Yeah, so that's what they'll do, until you conform to their way. And if you look at this kind of behavior, it's fascistic type of behavior, isn't it? just like the system, you see? So if you look at it, the problem on the planet isn't the things they're banning people for talking about. It's actually narcissism, and its lack of self-awareness, you see? And people that aren't getting the well, not allowed to say it, they're not allowed certain services. Well, in narcissistic relationships, the person will deny you of sex, as a way of punishment. Silent treatment is just another punishment, you see? And the core of this kind of behavior, if you look at the core of this behavior, people are acting narcissistic, they're doing this stuff to try and get you obey. The question should be, why are they doing this? What is the real core reason for them not being so free that they can, or being a certain way that they have to behave like this? Well, the reason they're like this is because they're traumatized, right? And it's the same reason why you get people that virtue signal. This is and it's all related to trauma. And that's the reason why you'll get narcissists, and I'll give you the silent treatment if you don't behave in the way that they want. That he or she might have had problems with their parents. You don't know what went on as children, and ultimately they are traumatized people. You see, abandonment issues, and it's like I was saying earlier. The thing to talk about is not, the fake whatever, or it's none of that stuff. It's this healing path that we're all on. So the focus should be within. Why do I feel the need to bully someone else? That's what you should be asking yourself. If you are narcissistic, if you're a man well, you're not a real man or a woman. If you're behaving that way, you're still a little boy or a little girl wearing your mum and dad's shoes. But ask yourself, why are you behaving like this? What is the feeling within you that's driving you to do this? Why are you afraid so much that you need to behave this way? Is it something that happened as a child? It could be even something that happened before you were in this incarnation. A past life, perhaps. And if you just meditate upon that, what is it that's making me so fearful? You actually get into the feeling, the core feeling that's making you like this. The core vibration that makes you react narcissistically. And in this, we're getting to the core of the problem, you see. And, getting to the core on why you need to do the silent treatment. And just meditate upon that, and then you'll feel that fear that is making you behave that way. I watch on YouTube sex therapists, and I also watch psychotherapists. And they both mention the same word, and that word is arousal. Now, I personally believe that the reason sex and porn, and it's all skewed up, sexuality and sex, is turned in the way that it is because it's probably one of the most powerful healers. And I think the arousal in sex is actually the what you're hacking into there is the trauma within you. I also think the different types of sex that people like is similar to the traumas that they've got within them. So if someone likes something more aggressive, they would have been traumatized aggressively. You see? So, and the reason I brought that up, is because this relates to trauma. You see, what I'm getting towards here is the core problem of why you act narcissistic. You see, the question shouldn't be, oh, it shouldn't be he or she's a narcissist. Yes, that's true. But why? Right? And when you meditate upon this feeling that is making you narcissistic, it's a very fearful, shaky kind of energy. You see? But it's true, psychotherapists and sex therapists both say the same word, arousal. And, I'm not one of them. I had an unexpected spiritual awakening at the age of 24, 10 years on, 34 now. But I'm not, a sex therapist or anybody with a qualification, a fake qualification. The only real qualification is the awakening, in my opinion. But that's another thing, people's reaction, you see it all the time, people's fearful reaction with their opinions as well. It all relates back to trauma. You see? And so regarding the silent treatment, or if you're, this is really to the narcissist to help you, because like I said earlier, we're all narcissistic because we live in a narcissistic society, myself included in that. But the feeling that makes you want to react in that way, you're doing it. Meditate upon the feeling that's making you want to do this or want to behave this way. And you'll notice it's basically just a little child that's frightened. It's a very shaky feeling. You see? This is why people will act like they'd rather have sex or be violent, because to feel, they're scared to feel. But if you actually feel, whether you cry or not, it's easier than you think. That's why a lot of people will not want to sit and meditate or feel their traumas or go that deep. This is what the path I've been on for just under, not under 10 years, now it's 10 years, on this spiritual awakening path, which happened unexpectedly because I had enough one day. You see? So yeah, and so I'm not demonizing anyone here, because we're all narcissists. What people don't realize, when you're like, demonizing narcissists, you're talking about yourself, because you're perceiving it, and what you perceive is your shadow, which is your unconscious self, your subconscious mind. Because, so we're all part of this same thing. This is why everybody isn't with their twin flames, because they've got too much trauma. Because a twin flame is such a divine, pure love that the trauma blocks that kind of love. The trauma gets in the way, you see. All the fears manifest. It can only happen if you're healed enough. So that's why I do these talks. I don't always talk about this subject, but this is something I go back to. Because ultimately, as a whole, en masse, we're all healing together. That's what the awakening is. To get to the new earth, we've got to heal the stuff that's within. This thing that makes you want to be narcissistic, that it makes you angry or want to be hurtful towards someone else. I once saw a psychiatrist say that narcissists bring you down to bring themselves up, but why? No one asks that. And if we just meditate on that thought, then it's fear. Something has traumatized them so much that they are fearful, and so they feel the need to down others in order to be like in control of them. Because someone made them feel below them at some point, whether it be in this life or a past life. So the narcissist in the silent treatment, yeah, it's to make you fearful or obey them, because they fearful. They want you to feel how they feel. They feel belittled, and so they want you to feel like that. But don't down them. Instead, let's get to the core of what the issue is, and the core is this thing that's making us act like this. So if we heal that is the cancer. And so just feel it, let it out. And then what you'll find, as I found on this awakening path, was you'll cry a lot at the start, and then it'll get less and less. You know, and that's the key to ascension. And I'm just going to leave it there. For latest updates, talks, news, research, and much, much more, please do visit my website at www.lovelikefamily.com. Thank you.